at home, Dumelang Molweni Absheng. Right now it's story time, and I think we're going to have a good time reading a story. Boys and girls, hello.
Hello.
Our story is called The King of Frogs. Hey. Story is about frogs and wishes. If you had a wish, what would you wish for? If you had a wish. Yes.
I would wish if to have horses.
Oh, you would wish to have a horse. What would be your wish?
To go on the moon.
To go on the moon. Your wish?
To have a volcano.
To?
Have a volcano.
A volcano. Wow, I'm scared of volcanoes. Yeah? Your wish?
Money.
You want money? Lots and lots of money. Your wish?
I wish I could be indestructible.
Indestructible. Oh, that's a big word. Your wish?
To be a fairy princess.
To be a fairy princess. Oh. Now, the frogs also had a wish. But we need to know what the frogs wished for. Right. Now, before we even look at what the frogs wished for, they used to have this praise to the sun. And I want us to say this wish together, right? And the frogs say, "Almighty sun, give us a king." Let's say together, "Almighty sun, give us a king." So the frogs were wishing for a king. Right. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful lake. It was called Frog Lake. Thousands of frogs lived on Frog Lake. There were big frogs and little frogs, green and brown frogs. They had plenty of flies to eat. So frogs eat flies.
Yes.
Yes.
And when I was 1 year old, I used to kill flies and eat them too.
You? Oh, how did they taste?
Yummy.
Yummy. So frogs eat flies. They had plenty of water to swim in. They had plenty of grass and bushes to hide in during the midday heat. So these frogs were having a good time. Food, a nice lake to stay and swim, and they had everything that they wanted. Except one thing. They wanted a wise and powerful king to rule the frogs. Who was going to be their king? Any ideas? Who was going to be their king? A frog, a bigger frog maybe?
Yes. A bullfrog.
A bullfrog? Yes, you have an idea.
The biggest frog.
The biggest frog. They could not decide, okay, whether they wanted a bullfrog or the biggest frog. The frogs could not decide. So they sang to the rising sun. Let's sing to the rising sun. Almighty sun, give us a king. Again, Almighty sun, give us a king. Ha, 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 laughed the sun. Ha, ha, ha. Frogs don't need a king. But the frogs sang and sang. Again, let's sing to the sun, guys. Almighty sun, tired of it. He took a piece of wood from his ever-burning fire and tossed it into the lake. "There is your king," he shouted. The wood fell into the lake with a splash. "Oh," gasped the frogs. They all jumped in the water and swam to the wood. "Welcome, King of Frogs." Let's welcome the King of Frogs. "Welcome, King of Frogs." But their new king said nothing. The frogs came closer. "Let's welcome the new king. Welcome, King of Frogs." So the frogs climbed on the wood. More frogs climbed on top of the wood. Soon there was a mountain of frogs on top of the wood. "King of Frogs, say something. Show us how wise you are. King of Frogs, do something. Show us how powerful you are," the frogs shouted. I wonder what's going to happen now. Is this a powerful king, guys?
No.
Is this a wise king?
No.
They're just on top of him, making fun of him. The frogs shouted and yelled and shouted all through the night. But the wood was silent. It did not even move. Poor wood. "This king is not wise," said one frog. "This king is not powerful," said another. "This king does not even move," said a third. "We don't want this king. We don't want this king," said all the frogs. So they're going to chase him away. When the sun began to rise, the frogs lifted their heads and sang. Now let's sing praise to the sun. "Almighty Sun, give us a king." But this time they are saying, "Give us a different king." Let's say together, "Almighty Sun, give us a different king." The sun is amazed now. I gave them a king. They want a different king. The sun got angry. He grabbed a flying stalk and tossed it into the middle of the lake. "Here is your new king," he shouted. "Welcome, King of Frogs." Let's welcome the new King of Frogs. Welcome, King of Frogs. The frogs whispered in tired voices. They were happy to see that the new king was moving. Remember, the wood was not moving. Suddenly, the stalk began pecking at the frogs and swallowing them one by one. The frightened frogs hid under the water. From the bottom of the lake, the frogs called to the sun. Now they are running away from the new king because the new king is swallowing them. Let's say the praise to the sun. "Almighty Sun, give us a different king." But now they are changing the praises and they are saying, "Almighty Sun, take back this king." Together, "Almighty Sun, take back this king." Why? Why must the sun take back the king?
Because it's eating them.
Because it's eating them and swallowing them, and now they are trying to run away from this new king. But their voices were lost in the water. Remember, they are under the water, running away, swimming away. And the sun could not hear them. The new king of frogs had a good and easy life. He did not even have to move to catch the frogs. Soon he became fat and lazy. Remember, he's just now swallowing these frogs one by one. One day, the stork put his beak in the water and swallow not a frog. What do you think the stork is going to swallow now? Ooh, yes.
A fish.
A fish maybe? Yes.
A duck.
A duck maybe. Not a frog, not a fish, not a duck. A big piece of wood got stuck in his throat. It was the old king of frogs. The stork tried to fly up and shake the wood out, but he was so heavy and fat that he fell into the water and never came up again. The few remaining frogs sang rising to the sun. They sang their praise. Let's sing the praises together. Almighty Sun,
Take back your king.
take back the different king. Now it has changed. They sing, Almighty Sun, your praise we sing. You granted our wish and took back that king. The frogs were happy. The bad king was dead, but sad about all the frogs he had eaten. Soon, the frogs forgot about the past. They were busy laying eggs and making new families. A few summers passed. There were new frogs on the frog lake. There were big frogs and little frogs. There were green and brown and yellow frogs. They had plenty of flies to eat. They had plenty of water to swim in. They had plenty of grass and bushes to hide in during the midday heat. They had everything they wished for, except for one thing. What is missing?
They want a king.
They wanted their old king back. Remember the wood? The wood did not bother them. It was just a mighty king, but silent. That is the end of our story, boys and girls. Viewers at home, I hope you enjoyed the story as much as we did. It's now time to say goodbye to viewers at home. Bye-bye, viewers at home.
Bye.
See you next time.